In France, the government's controversial pension reform proposal, which includes raising the retirement age from 62 to 64, faces a key test today.
The country's Constitutional Council is set to deliver its verdict on the reforms. This comes a day after police clashed with protesters in Paris, the 12th day of nationwide strikes that have paralyzed public services. NBC News correspondent Ali Arouzi joins us now from Paris. Ali, walk us through exactly what the Constitutional Council will be deciding today and who are they?
Hi there. Well, the Constitutional Council is the highest constitutional authority in France. It's got 11 members on the council, and it was set up in 1958 to make sure constitutional principles and rules were upheld. The presidency is currently held by former Prime Minister Laurent Fabius, and all the fate of this pension reform lies in the hands of that Constitutional Council that is sitting in that building behind me right now. And there is a massive police presence around it because this is the heart of the decision that's being made in France. So all around me right now, there's police. They snake around all across the building, and they've got policemen up on the roof as well to make sure there isn't much trouble today.
And Ali, as we mentioned, this ruling comes after protesters clashed with riot police in Paris just yesterday. Of course, this is just the latest in a series of clashes that have been going on in the country. What's the mood like this morning?
Well, it's a very tense mood here. I mean, everybody is waiting with bated breath to see what the decision of this council is going to be. You know, the country has been at a standstill for months now over this issue, so everybody is very keen to see what happens. But there is an anticipation that there'll be more protests tonight and tomorrow in the weekend if the council favor Macron's decisions, because people hold the social welfare system here very dear, and they want to protect it at all costs. I mean, you look around the city here and there's graffiti all over the walls against Macron, saying death to fascists, a lot of derogatory slogans against the police. So the mood and the tensions are still very high here. I mean, the protests have by and large been very peaceful, but the mood is still very tense as this all hangs in the balance.
And Ali, as you mentioned, the possible implications are that there could be more protests. Could we see those intensify if the council greenlights the government's plans?
Well, it all depends on the decision of the council tonight. I mean, there are a few different scenarios that could play out. They could completely strike down Macron's proposals, which is highly unlikely, or they could adopt his proposals with some caveats, which would work in favor of Mr. Macron because it wouldn't be an all-out victory for him, and it would allow him to negotiate some of the less contentious parts of that reform with the opposition while pushing through the main body of it. But there's always drama here, and in the 11th hour last night, one of the left-wing parties introduced a new motion asking the government to tell people how they're going to finance this pension reform, and more importantly, calling for a referendum. So the council that's sitting in that building behind me now have to decide whether to put this to a referendum. That could take weeks. So this issue is not going to get sorted out tonight and is likely to go on for months to come.
Okay, we know you'll keep us posted on what's happening there. Ali, thanks so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.